the average number of calories consumed on Christmas Day. I did get you to guess this last year, and you were pretty close, actually. Do you remember what it was?
I say like 5,500.
Yeah, it's actually like 6,000 to 7,000 calories on Christmas Day. So if you are on a weight loss journey, you're probably like, well, that's just going to undo all my hard work. But the main underlying theme of today's episode is not that it's going to undo all your hard work, because one day is just one day.
Yeah.
It's not the end of the world. Enjoy yourself, enjoy your time with family, get back on the horse the next day. But what we really want to talk about today is the fact that Christmas has become more than one day.
Yes. It's really become like the month, hasn't it, to an extent?
Yeah.
Or like we get into like December and it becomes, it's like the 6 weeks even before Christmas. Like it's so even further than that, probably like the last week or two in November.
I say probably even in America, like from Thanksgiving, it's all bets are off.
Yeah. And it just becomes, like it's Christmas, we're covering up a little bit more. We're a little bit more, like, it's darker outside, we hibernate a little bit, and comfort food, warm food, hot food.
Yeah.
But then the parties and the Christmas parties and
there's
everything
just
else.
treats everywhere. Like you go in the office, there's treats. You go to like school's got loads more events on, and you go into like see your kids' show, and there's chocolate cake or whatever.
And then a hot chocolate with
mulled
whipped cream
wine.
and marshmallows. Yeah, it's just like, and you're like, oh, that was only one hot chocolate that had 700 calories in it.
Yeah. And actually, I did write out, like, if we think, even somebody who's been quite conservative over the course of December, if you think, they've got their Christmas day, 7,000 calories. So that's like 5K extra just on that one day of like just ballpark maintenance figures for a woman. Then maybe you've got like an extra Christmas dinner that you have with friends or like work colleagues or whatever. So another 5K. Then you've got leftovers.
The leftovers the next day.
So that's like 3 to 5K.
Yeah.
Then you've got your work's Christmas party, maybe another Christmas party. That's a couple extra thousand that you have in drinks and snacks on that day.
Some pretty
each time.
hungover days maybe the next day where you don't make the best food choices.
Right. And then you've got like, a gingerbread man or a gingerbread cookie, maybe just a couple of times a week, or a mince pie. It's only one a week or whatever.
It's the festive season.
Well, that's like maybe 1,000 calories a week for 4 weeks, 4,000 calories. Maybe like a festive cheese and wine night with your girlfriends, a couple of extra 1,000 calories. And then before you know it, over the course of the month, you've eaten 25,000 extra calories.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Which is like 7 pounds equivalent of energy.
Yeah.
Which is in
Should have
kilos,
brought the
like
fat prop in.
3 to 4 kilos.
It's
of
a lot.
extra fat.
Yeah, definitely.
And you can see how when we listed those out, that's not someone who's going bananas every day. Like it's just like a couple of Christmas parties, a couple of extras a week, not even a day.
Yeah.
It can soon add up. And so what we really want to talk about today is how it doesn't have to be that spiral of the whole month being a write-off, because actually you can lose weight in December, or you can also be like, I just don't want it to go as wild as it normally does, and just focus on almost like damage control.
Yeah.
Of like, how can I just make sensible choices, still enjoy the season, but not cause my weight to go up this Christmas?
Yeah.
Because that's a big thing for a lot of our clients. Every year it goes up.
Every year it goes up, and then you start January, you feel bloated, you feel heavy, you feel sluggish, you've gained a load of weight, and it's like, it just makes January just suck even more, which is like, typically you're writing down your goals, you're looking forward to the new year, you're excited, but like for a lot of people, they're going into the new year feeling, I've gained a load of weight, I've got to go back to the gym, I've got to start dieting, and it feels like an uphill battle from day one, which is not where you want to be. You want to be on the front foot forward.
Ever wondered why losing weight seems so hard after you hit 30? You're not alone. At BodySmart, we specialise in helping women like you over the age of 30 to lose 30 to 60 pounds in less than 6 months. Guaranteed. And that's without restrictive diets or endless hours in the gym. Our approach works because it's delivered through customised, direct, one-on-one coaching. Your coach will tailor a fully personalised plan that fits into your life, focusing on sustainable habits, not temporary fixes. On average, our clients lose 5 to 10 pounds a month, and that's not an outlier. That's what you can expect to achieve month in, month out. And yes, these results are guaranteed. Ready to see for yourself? Visit bodysmartfitness.com to apply. Remember, we're here exclusively for women over 30 who are serious about taking charge of their health. Apply at bodysmartfitness.com.
What we wanted to talk about today was the tools that you can use through the rest of the month to feel a bit more in control and to make decisions that feel like they balance being able to enjoy yourself and enjoy the season, but also not put yourself in that situation in January where you're like, oh, why did I do it again? And a lot of it comes down to our relationship with food, because in reality, you know, there are many things that contribute to us struggling with our weight, and yeah, maybe hunger is one, maybe physical activity is another. But this time of year, let's face it, none of this is to do with those. It's to do with our relationship with food.
Yeah, we should have really said there's a bunch of food.
Oh yeah, if you're not watching this on YouTube and you can't see, we have got a smorgasbord of Christmas treats in front of us right now.
Yeah, a lot of food.
And Christmas, it's a special time of year for a lot of people. And it's also a time where traditionally it is about like indulging and like enjoying and just being a bit more gung-ho about everything indulgent, basically, isn't it?
Yeah.
And so it can bring many emotions and like connections with food. And I wanted to explain actually emotional eating. I want to go into this in a bit more depth, because people think of emotional eating as being like, I'm sad, I want chocolate. But there's so much more to emotional eating.
Yeah. I mean, like we for some people, we eat when we celebrate, we eat when we're happy, we eat when we're sad, we eat because we're bored. You know, there's so many different emotions that are wrapped up in food. And especially around, you know, Christmas, there's a lot of people like Christmas is a really like sad time, because it's a reminder of the people that maybe you've lost. And that can, you know, you can turn to food as a way of comfort or memory. But again, food also brings people together, and it's like, oh, it's tradition that we have this breakfast and do this around Christmas. And again, they're all great things and can be celebrated, but there's a lot of emotional drivers pushing you towards food in those circumstances. And there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. It's just having that awareness of like where you want to push and pull.
Yeah, and also once you are aware, like the reason I really want to eat that gingerbread cookie is just because it's linked to a happy memory for me. It's not actually that the gingerbread cookie makes me really happy in and of itself. That then takes the power away from that food, and it allows you to maybe have like a little bit of a gingerbread cookie, have a reminisce, and then put the rest back or give it to your husband or whatever.
Yeah.
And it just kind of frees you from the power of those emotional connections, because they are really powerful.
They are, yeah.
And so that's one factor. Another factor is stress. I'm not going to lie. I've got so many friends, and like my mum is one. I know we were talking earlier about like Steph's mum is one, where the stress of wanting everybody to have a perfect Christmas just feels like it takes over in December. Like you want a house to look lovely. You want to make sure you've got the right presents for everyone. You want to make sure I'm hosting, which could be so fun on being 9 months pregnant. But you know,
I think we're hosting this, yeah. Which I've never done before.
And so you've got all that going on, and you're also trying to hold down a normal job. Maybe your kids have got extra stuff going on after school, so you're trying to fit that in as well. So you're stressed. You're not maybe looking after yourself the best because you're trying to do all that stuff. You're sleeping a bit poorly. You're drinking more alcohol. All of this compounds, and actually just eating a little bit of extra energy to get you through the day makes a lot of logical sense. You got a lot to do. And so there are practical factors like that as well at play, which are different to maybe if you're in January and you're trying to focus on your health and fitness. There's a lot less going on. It's a lot easier to be focused. And then the other one that I wanted to bring up was the fact that for many people, if you've been trying to lose weight all year and you've been good, quote unquote, all year, and you get to December and there's suddenly this reason where everyone is like, oh, it's Christmas, it's fine, it's only one cookie, it's only this.
The peer pressure is real.
Yeah, and also you're like, yeah, you're right, I've been really good for like 11 months, yeah. So everybody's kind of tapping into what you kind of want to be able to do, and they're justifying it, and you're like, yeah, okay, I'm just going to have the chocolate. Yeah. But you don't really want to go down that route.
Yeah, I think it depends, doesn't it? It just depends. Like sometimes maybe you do, but it's just where that line's drawn for you. You know what I mean? Like if that's starting to happen every day, every other day, and as you said, you can start to count up like, I'm having thousands of extra calories. I'm maybe not losing weight anymore, and that was the goal. I've now plateaued, or I'm now gaining weight. And again, just always like remember, like a big thing we say to anyone who's trying to lose weight is that it's a season, and there's many seasons in life, but like losing weight is one of them. And for some people, just like weight maintenance through Christmas is a perfectly fine goal, but like weight maintenance still takes quite a bit of conscious thought, because you can't just eat and drink everything. And sometimes even when you give people permission, like, well, I'm not going to lose weight through Christmas, I'm just going to maintain the the sort of like way you were navigating things now is like, well, that's maybe off limits, that isn't, so I'm going to portion this. It's like, oh, I'm at maintenance. Well, and even that can spiral into people gaining a lot more weight. And the most difficult part about this, and anyone will know this if they've ever like really pursued a goal, is that it's so much harder to restart than it is to just start from the beginning. So if you've currently got that momentum and you're feeling good, and then you just kind of pull the rug out from underneath yourself, and like kind of one cookie turned into two, and then it turned into day 2, day 3, day 5, day 7, you get to January 1st, and you're like, how have I gained 10 pounds? I feel awful. Like getting started again then, the amount of willpower it takes to just go is so hard. And we see it with like a lot of clients. It's very, very difficult.
Especially if you had made progress and then you feel like you've backslid. Because that's really demoralising.
Yeah, imagine you've lost 15 pounds up to this point, and then over Christmas you gain 10. You're like, well, I've only lost 5 pounds now. What's the point? You know, you a lot of that 10 pounds would probably be water and you know, just a little bit of bloating. You would drop a lot of it in probably like week 1 of getting back at it. But trying to tell yourself that when you've gained 10 pounds and you're feeling awful on January 1st is a difficult pill to swallow.
Yeah.